Hello, I'm Shoestring Jane. Welcome back to my channel where I talk about all things thrifty, frugal and money saving. So we're really in autumn now, aren't we? We've kind of slid into it and we're heading on a steam train to Christmas. So I'm not going to talk about Christmas today though, don't worry. So I'm just sitting here being cozy, having my coffee, and I thought I would go through 5 frugal things that I've done this week. So to start with, I have listened to a book for free on BorrowBox, and that, if you don't know about it already, is a free library app. You have to have a library card and you can join it. Usually, I think all of the library services have it or something like BorrowBox. And you can listen to loads of audiobooks and you can read ebooks completely free. So if you currently spend a lot on something like Audible, you can save a bit of money by having a look on BorrowBox instead. So I have been listening to one about, I'm going to say it wrong, even though I've been listening to an audiobook, hygge, Hygge, which is the kind of Danish philosophy of coziness and happiness and comfort, and particularly applies to this time of year, I think, really, that kind of sense of being warm and cozy and comfortable. It was called, I just wrote it down here actually in case I would forget. It's called The Hygge Home, and it's by Mike Viking, which I think is a fantastic Scandinavian name, Mike Viking. You can buy it on Amazon, but you can listen to it for free on BorrowBox, and he reads it and it's really, really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And it seems to me that the concept of hygge really does align with a frugal lifestyle and thrift and making the best of what you've got, and simplicity and enjoying the simple things in life, like, cozy nights in and a nice glass of mulled wine or a hot cup of coffee. Or what I've been doing is making turmeric lattes again. I made them a lot last year and then I kind of went off the boil with them during the summer because they're not really a summer drink. It feels like they're an autumn winter drink. So I've been making turmeric lattes again, and most delicious they are as well. I use the recipe on the BBC Good Food website, by the way. I'll try and link it below, but if I don't, you'll find it on there. So I love autumn anyway. I think I've said before in other videos, I like the sense that you can kind of cozy up, but I'm a bit of a home bird. I guess it's quite frustrating for people that love going out. Suddenly it's very dark, the evenings are dark and long. And personally, I don't mind that. I quite like that. In the book, Mike Viking talks about just making simple changes to create that sense of hygge and coziness. And they could be as simple as kind of just changing the lighting and getting some little lamps and softer light bulbs in your sitting room or your bedroom, and doing simple things like, making mulled wine, as I said before, having a nice dinner with friends and family, enjoying food, not rushing it, having a chat, playing board games, cozying up under blankets, warm socks, warm clothes, and that kind of thing, cozy walks, and coming back and having a nice cup of tea or some soup or something. So I really enjoyed the book, so I recommend it. And if you don't know anything about hygge, and I know I'm late to the party, it's been around for years, it's really worth just checking it out. It's a very interesting concept, I think. So that's the first of my frugal things. As you would expect, I have also been charity shopping this week. That will come as no surprise to you, I'm sure. But on the subject of coziness, this is one of the things I picked up this week. Some beautiful hand-knitted mittens. Aren't they lovely? Really cozy. Somebody's obviously knitted them specially, but they don't look as though they've ever been worn. I wonder if they were an unwanted present. Well, I'm happy to have them. They'd be great for my dog walks in the depths of winter. And they cost me £2.50, which I think is pretty much a bargain for really beautiful, very autumnal colours as well, aren't they? Very beautiful mittens. I don't have any mittens. I've got lots of gloves, but nothing as warm as this. So these will be really great if we get a harsh winter. Very pleased with those. And while I was in the same charity shop, I noticed they had a basket. I know they sometimes get donations from shops, don't they? End of lines and things. And they had a load of socks, new packets of socks, for £2.95 each. So actually that wasn't the same shop, that was East Anglian Children's Hospice's shop, was a different shop. So I bought 3 for the girls for their stockings for Christmas, and another 2 pairs because I actually just need some socks. So I thought that was good, kind of just on the subject of being cosy. Both of those things good. Layer up, get your socks on, get your mittens on. And I also found on the £1 rail this rather splendid vintage dressing gown. It's from Marks and Spencer St Michael, and it was only £1. And I won't keep it, although I do quite like it. I don't think it's really warm enough, but it's that kind of brushed cotton though, so it might be. It's a lady's size 16 to 18 long, and yes, I got it for £1, and I think there's probably a bit of a market for a vintage dressing gown, so I'm going to explore that. Not quite sure if it has much value yet. I haven't really looked, but I like it. I think it's really nice, and it's those lovely cosy autumn, Christmas, winter colours, isn't it? That nice green tartan, green and red tartan. I love it. It's really nice. So yes, I will show you. I did do actually another little charity shop. I had to go into town to get my glasses changed, and I did another little charity shop whilst I was there. So I've got quite a small haul, so I'll show you that as well at the end of the video. And still on the subject of coziness, I have bought down the blankets. So we have a fleece heated blanket, which I got a couple of years ago now, and it was a really good investment. Used it loads. I don't always plug it in, actually, to be honest. It's got a fleece lining and it's so warm that sometimes it's just fine as a blanket. I had it on last night, didn't need to plug it in. But when it's really cold and you don't want to put the heating on all the time, it is brilliant just to have something like that to give you a blast. But the rest of the time, I'm going to put down from upstairs. This was a charity shop find, a recent one I think I showed you. This blanket and another throw, as well as my heated throw, which is on the other sofa. So I've got a pile of those here. So if we get cold in the evenings, so we don't have to immediately turn the heating on. Energy bills are still expensive, as you will know, anywhere, but here in the UK particularly, I think. So, you know, everything you can do to save a bit of money is worth it. Having said that, I have had the heating on this week. It's been really cold at points and I've been layering up, and I did stripped all the beds and did the washing, and so I've got a lot of washing drying, and I find in a cold house it really takes a long time. I don't have a heated area anymore. I did used to have one, but it broke and I haven't replaced it. I do have a dehumidifier, but I watch it, I put it on for a bit and I'd watch the smart meter and I think, okay, this may be cheaper than putting the heating on, but it's still quite, you know, energy hungry, so I don't have it on all the time. I would suggest, if you have the money, the budget for it, that any heated area is actually a really good investment. So I might get one at some point, but I've got 3 areas, so you know, I'll manage on those. I put the heating on. I've had it on for about 2.5 hours over the course of this week, so not a lot, just to take the chill off and just to kind of get rid of that kind of smell of damp washing and get things dry. And the other thing I've been doing a lot of, because it's a very frugal food, is eating a lot of soup. And I made an absolute massive batch at the end of the summer when the courgettes were in full swing, and I made loads of them, and I didn't actually use them all up. Some of them I chopped up, some of them I've still got sitting in the fridge. So I'm going to make some more soup this week, but I have been eating a lot of the soup. I just get a portion out. Justin doesn't like courgette soup, which is fine for me. He'll like the tomato. I'm going to make some tomato this week. I think he's just done with courgettes, really. So I really enjoy courgette soup, and I make it kind of a bit more filling by adding some grated cheddar to it, and I find that makes it really satisfying and delicious. So I've been eating a lot of soup. Just made some lunch, some courgette soup. It's still all the stuff out of the freezer I made ages ago. I made a lot of it, and I've got some cheese in there to make it more tasty, and I've made some cheesy, not crackers, I call them crackers, but because they feel like crackers, but they're basically baked Emmental to go alongside them. Then I'm going to take the dog out for his ball time, don't tell him. I'm still eating low carb, so that's why I made the cheese crackers. They're just baked Emmental. Somebody said to me, where did you get the crackers from, when I put them out before? But they're literally chopped up Emmental or a similar hard cheese, baked in the oven at about 180 degrees centigrade for 15 minutes on a piece of greaseproof paper, I would suggest, because I didn't do that to start with and they got stuck to my baking tray. And then just let them cool and then pull them off, and they're delicious if you're not eating bread, or they're just really nice with a glass of wine in the evening or whatever. So I find them a really good snack, and I really enjoy Emmental. And if you buy the like what they call the low carb keto crackers, they're so expensive, and these are very, very much cheaper. So they're nice to have with my cheesy soup. So I enjoy that. Although we've had a lot of rainy days recently, we've also had some really lovely, clear, sunny days, and I've been making the best of those, getting out while the sun was still shining with the dog, having a walk down to the quay, having a walk in the woods. And it's glorious. I love autumn light. It's very silvery, and especially first thing in the morning down at the quays. It's just lovely. I can tell why there's a lot of artists around here, because I think the light generally is really good, but particularly at this time of the year, I think. So I've been, as I say, making the most of having really a lovely area to walk in. Gosh, it's lovely down here this morning. Absolutely calm and quiet. Having a dog is a good thing, isn't it, Archie? I'd miss that otherwise. Come on, let's go. Today's guest water is Johnny Walkies. Definitely helps me feel more zen coming down here in the mornings. A walk down here is quite meditative. Beautiful down here, I'm so lucky. Let's go and see what books are on the book crossing. Don't think there's anything new. Gosh, some poor things are being shot over there. But other than that, all is peaceful. Take a moment to appreciate this. Okay, so moving on to my little charity shop haul. I popped into the charity shops in town, and I think I've said this before in a previous video. Our town centre has been ruined and destroyed by a big out-of-town shopping centre that's arrived that is soulless and horrible. It's all just big chains, and all that's left in town now Marks and Spencer's was one of the last things there, and that's gone to the out-of-town place. All that's there now is coffee shops, barbers, charity shops, a few independent shops, but they're struggling. So the charity shops are also really not very good. I think they don't get such good donations because it's not so easy to drop stuff off in town, and we have lots of out-of-town charity shops now, and it's so much easier to go and drop your stuff there, and they have such a lot of stuff out of town that they don't overcharge. Whereas in town, there was all this, the same kind of story. I said this before. You go in and it's a really faded piece of clothing, and they're trying to charge like £7 or £8 for it, and I think this is just too much for a faded piece of clothing. They see, I think the volunteers aren't given enough training, and so they're told, oh, it's fat face, or it's white stuff, or it's coast, or it's something that would have been kind of quite, mid-priced, good quality high street stuff, and they're told to charge just this, this much, £9 or whatever, and they don't look at the condition of it. And sometimes it looks like it's been through the washing machine about 100 times, and you think, well, I'd pay £3 for that, but I'm not going to pay £7 for it. So there was a lot of that sort of thing. So I didn't pick up very much, but I've got a very, very small haul that I thought I'd show you. And behind me, I've still got the rest of the stuff that I got ready for listing on Vinted and eBay that I hadn't actually got around to doing, and I was away out of the house for 2 days, so I'm back now, so I need to get on with those in a minute. So it's not very much. But I picked up these. I did pay quite a lot for these. They're hotter boots. But I had this exact pair of boots, and they lasted me for years and years and years. And if these had been in my size, I would have kept them because they're such lovely quality. They're so comfortable. They're just good for all weathers. I mean, they were waterproof. They're leather, really nice quality. So I did pay up for them. I paid £16, which is quite a lot. But I thought, well, I know that I could probably get £35 for those on eBay. So that's a worthwhile bit of product. Plus, I think they're lovely. I got this for myself because I got the very same cushion upstairs in the bedroom that I also got from a charity shop. So I couldn't really leave it behind because I thought I'd do the same on the bed. And that was only £1.49. And that was in PDSA. So, yeah, my sort of shabby chic look, isn't it? And then I also got, this was a several charity shops worth. You wouldn't believe how many I went into for such a small amount of purchases. But I was very pleased with this one. This was from our hospice shop, and I thought that's a lovely jug, isn't it? And it only cost £2.50, and it's Jasper Conran. We can't see that. Jasper Conran. So I picked that up and thought, oh, that's really nice. And then I just picked this up separately before I realised they were probably kind of part of the same range and bought together. It's a little spotty milk jug, but you know, they go together quite well. That's also Jasper Conran, and that was only £1, and it's got like a press sample thing on the bottom, Debenhams press samples. Someone's got that for free and never really used it. So I need to give them both a wash, and then I'll list those. No idea of the value at all. Whilst it's in there, I got this other cute little thing, which I might keep because I don't really wear perfume a lot. I do have some perfume bottles upstairs, and you know, I keep thinking I should really start. Oh no, this isn't a perfume one. I'll get to that in a minute. I'll tell you about that in a minute. I picked this up in the hospice shop as well. It's a jam, just a little jam pot. Very shabby chic and cute. It's actually Jones and Middleton, Burslem, England. I don't think it's got a lot of value, but I quite liked it. It's probably going to go on my dresser, I should imagine. Yeah, so that was not the thing I just mentioned. See if I can find that now I've talked about it. There it is. It's just a vintage perfume bottle, and I thought, oh, how sweet. And it's got little, don't know if you can hear that. So it works. It's just a little china one. It's Ainsley Wild Tudor fine bone china, very old-fashioned perfume set. And what I would like to do when we come to do the bedroom, at the moment I have a desk with a mirror sitting on it. I would actually like to get a proper dressing table, a nice old one that I can maybe do up if I can find one reasonably cheap, an old-fashioned wooden one, and do it up. So I'll keep that to put on it. I just think that's really cute. That was £3.50, so it wasn't that cheap, but it's for me, so I thought that was quite cute. And then I picked these up because I thought they might do for me, but they're just slightly short. I do have a couple of pairs of ankle boots that I picked up from Vintage last year, but I've just got to list them because they're not comfortable for me. But I thought, oh, these look comfortable. They're Clarks, and they're kind of soft, very soft leather, and they've got like a Velcro thing around the ankle. But when I tried them on, I thought they just feel a bit short in the toe, which is a shame. So I'll probably have to sell those. They're a kind of burgundy colour. I just thought they were going to be really comfy. They look comfy, but sadly not. How much were they? I can't remember. £6, I think they were. And then I think this is my last thing. And again, I have no idea of value. I bought this because I just like researching. And I did have, this is Noritake, I think it's called. Ah, okay. I've picked up two things that I thought were a set, and now I'm not sure that they are. No, they're not. So this is Noritake, and it's a lovely little yellow teacup. This was £2 with its little tray, I thought. So you've got you have your cup of tea, and you've got cake, and you can have your biscuits on here, and it's very vintage. And I've had Noritake before, and I think it was worth quite a lot. This is clearly not going to be worth that much, and it's not even a set now, so that's annoying. This one's Marling, England. They were sold as a set in the charity shop, and I thought that's quite cute. You don't get a lot of yellow stuff. I'll still probably sell them as a set, but I'll also have to make sure that they understand they're not actually a set. But if you want that kind of nice vintagey look, you might go for that. It was only £2, so it's not a great outlay, is it? So, oh gosh, I forgot I had made a cup of tea. I made a cup of tea and forgotten about it, so now it's gone cold. I'm going to go zap that in the microwave. I thought that was it. But that was the whole haul. That's not very good for about 7 charity shops. So I was speaking to Mum this morning, and I think we're going to go down to, she's staying at my sister's next week, and she has quite a lot of good charity shops in her area. So I think I'll go down and pick Mum up But before we come back, we'll go and have a little mosey around the charity shops next week and see what they've got down there. Because she loves, this is where I get it from. I get it from my mother. Became a charity shop second-hand fiend because that's what Mum loves doing. So that'll make her feel happy, I think, have a little mosey around the charity shops. She's a bit miserable because of the horrible weather. And it is just hideous. I mean, this morning, if I hadn't had my great big trench coat thing on, I would have been completely soaked. And Archie had his little coat on, but he still came in looking a bit the worse for wear and had to dry him down and everything. Anyway, I'm going to get on with this listing. And I'm going to get on with putting away the stuff that I've kind of bagged up ready to go, but I've got to find a spot for it, eBay stuff. So still focusing on trying to crack on with this eBay stuff. Justin's also found, I don't know where he finds these things, in his attic, the attic at his mum's house, because they're all, I've been there for so long. His dad was like my mum and dad actually, collectibles, just collected stuff for no good reason, and they just a bit of a family of hoarders, and they've never got rid of it. So they're sorting through it, and they often give me things to sell. He's given me a great big box of pewter mugs. So at some point, I've got to have a little look through those and see if they're worth listing. I think they're probably 2s and 3s, maybe. I don't think they've got a massive value, but I need to do that because they're taking up quite a lot of space in a big box in the garage. I need to sort them out. So that's something I might do later on. We'll see how we go. Thank you for watching my 5 frugal things video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments whether you've had any little frugal achievements this week, what you've been doing, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.